Hello, welcome to another episode of What the F. And this week's topic, what I thought I'd talk about is the stuff that I watch online, specifically on YouTube. Because I don't necessarily think it's the only website out there where you can watch videos and post videos, but it's certainly the most prolific, the most popular. So what I thought I'd do is just talk about the varying videos that I watch on YouTube that are of interest to me and maybe of interest to you. Now I've been ever since like the internet started, really. Well, not since it started, but ever since the explosion of it, where all these websites started popping up, the likes of eBay, YouTube, Yahoo, and all these things started happening. And YouTube specifically was a brilliant one because you could see all these good, great videos, make your own, post them there. Great idea. Now I've been doing this video blog for a while now, and I think I've done maybe 15 episodes, 15 videos, posted them all, and now it's been grand, and people watching. That's the point. I mean, I was talking with a friend of mine the other day, and she was like, are you worried at all that the viewing figures aren't high? The viewing figures on my videos aren't exactly huge hits. I mean, I think the most on any video is 26, whereas I've seen videos that like get millions, hundreds, thousands, and such. And I was at the bottom, like, no, again, because I've always thought, look, as long as somebody's watching them and they're enjoying them, that's fair enough for me. I mean, I do this just for fun, like for a laugh. And when people respond to them, it's good. And so far, I've not heard anything negative about the videos. Because again, the videos I make aren't negative. There's nothing bad about them. But I enjoy recording. But more importantly, I enjoy watching other videos on YouTube also. Now, I'm subscribed to a lot of channels on YouTube. Right? There's a lot of long fucking list of channels that I look at online, and I tried, like, I looked through my list to see which ones am I going to talk about, and there's a lot I'm subscribed to, as I said. So what I thought I'd do is I'd pick out the ones that I watch the most. Like, again, like, there's a lot of channels, and I'd love to be able to look at every one of them, but there's not enough time in the day. So, but I always make it a point to look at these ones, because these are the ones that they're funny, they're very good, they're hysterical in some instances, and they're informative. I look forward to them and I enjoy them. So I thought I'd pick 4 specifically that I watch. Right, so the first one I'm going to talk about is this one, and it's called S.I.T, which stands for Smodcast Internet Television. Now that one is run by the writer and director Kevin Smith. For most people know who Kevin Smith is. He did a movie called Clerks in the early 90s. He's done movies like Mallrats, Chasing Amy, Dogma, most recently Red State. There's a fucking unlikely film from him because it wasn't funny. Basically, he's famous for Jay and Silent Bob, the characters that used to keep popping up in his films. And he's an internet I don't know if I'd call him internet icon, but he's online a lot. Like, he's always on Twitter and he's always doing stuff online. And he started this because he's built this kind of podcast empire. There's all sorts of podcasts that he's involved in. Like, there's Jane Silent Bob Get Old, Hollywood Babylon, and Plus One, which he does with his wife Jen. And there's other ones as well that are part of the network. But he recently branched into YouTube with that one, which as I said, is called S.I.T, Smodcast Internet Television. And I'm just a big Kevin Smith fan, so when I heard he was doing this, I thought, I gotta give that a look. Because I listened to some of the podcasts, and I thought, oh, he's going to do a video now, which is great. And it's essentially a network that he makes these programs, these little kind of short programs, with his friends. Like he does, like, Jason Mewes has done one, who plays Jay, and he does one with his wife. He does some by himself, and some with his friends. Like he does that TV show. He has that TV show Comic Book Men, which is set in his comic book store. His friends on that: Walt Flanagan, Brian Johnson, Ming Chen. they do podcasts on the network as well, but they also appear on this site. And there's some brilliant shows. Like, one in particular I love watching is called Why Bride, and it features it's the thing he does with his buddy Brian Johnson. Which, if you've seen Comic Book Man, he's always the guy sitting behind the counter. He's a bit of a big guy, bearded, and he's hysterical. I mean, I've heard him on the podcast a few times, but this show that he does, he basically, it's called Why Brian, because Brian will be telling a story, both disgusting and hysterical, and Kevin will then inevitably end up saying, "Oh God, why Brian?" Hence the name of the show, because it's just hysterical. It's both like, oof, disturbing, but it's just funny as hell. And then there's another one. He hasn't done this in a while now. There's a brief kind of 2 minute, 3 minute show that he does every now and then. He doesn't do it often. I wish he would do it more because it's hysterical. And it's called Sloppy Seconds, and it basically is him, Kevin Smith, talking about whatever topic comes to his mind while he's stoned. Now, again, most people know, if you're a fan of Kevin, you know he's a notorious stoner. He loves smoking the weed, and he records this video. I think there's only maybe 4 or 5 episodes of it so far, and where he's talking about something, he's stoned out of his head, but it's just so funny, and it's just hysterical. He just keeps rambling, keeps talking, and you can tell. Sometimes you can even see the smoke rising. He's like, "Oh, ignore that," and it's just a brilliant show. Like, again, I wish he'd do more of them because it's just hysterical. And again, like, when you talk about his wide circle of friends, which he does stuff with, there's one he does with his buddy Walt Flanagan, who's the manager of the comic book store, Jay and Silent Bob's Secret Stash, it's called. And he does a video where he talks about comic books, because he's a comic book artist himself. And he does drawings, and he talks about his favorite artists and his favorite characters to draw in the comic books, and that's just simply called Walt Flanagan Draws. It's a good show because, again, he's a brilliant artist, and you get a lot of info about comic books, and if you go, "Well, I haven't heard of that one, I'll give that a look." So good informative there. And there's other shows; those are the best shows. But there's other shows he does that once in a while. The ones I've already mentioned are regulars, but he does one sometimes called S'morning Show and Tell, and that's basically he takes out an object and he's like, "This is the object for the episode. This is the story behind it." He does it sometimes with his wife Jen. Jason Mewes has done one, and it's that's a good show too, because again that can get pretty funny because the object inevitably has a story behind it, and it's, again, you know yourself the way Kevin Smith talks. Like, he's a very funny guy, and it just does it very well. So that's that one. It's Smodcast Internet Television. Give it a look. It's very good. Now this next channel is again another hysterical. All of them are funny. There's no grim or depressing shit amongst my list, because again I prefer to watch things that are gonna make you feel good and that give you a bit of a chuckle. And this one does that in fucking spades. And it's basically called Hamish and Andy. And it's run by two Australian DJs named Hamish Blake and Andy Lee. They're two Australian DJs. They have an afternoon show over there, and they're just hysterical beyond belief. And it was my brother actually who turned me on to them. He told me, they podcast their show, and again, you can check the podcast out on iTunes as well. They're just hysterical. They talk about varying topics, and they're just outright funny. I mean, I laugh out loud when I'm listening to the show or something. People are, what's he listening to? But these guys are hysterical. And what the videos on that are basically is sometimes they'll do a kind of video sketch that accompanies the podcast. Now, you can't find the video sketches on iTunes, but sometimes you hear about it in the podcast, and then you go to their website, or you can go to the YouTube channel. The YouTube channel is better because the videos they post there is hysterical. Like in one episode, Hamish brought Andy to a bee farm and had bees poured all over him. It was just so funny, the way Hamish was standing to one side just cracking all the jokes. like when Andy asked, how are all the bees going to come sitting on my face, because he wanted a bee beard is what the topic was, and he was told, we're going to put the queen on your face, to which fucking Hamish goes, oh, you're going to have the queen sitting on your face. And that was just his, that's one of my favorite videos. Check it out. Just search in YouTube for Hamish and Andy bees, and you'll find that video. It's just hysterical. And there's other videos on it too. Like they do a TV show called Hamish and Andy's Gap Year, which is essentially like a travel show. You know, the way Michael Caine does travel shows and Billy Connolly does them as well. They do them. They go to the countries and they just get involved in weird activities, and again they film it. It's a TV program, but they post the short clips on YouTube, and they're just hysterical. Like there was one where they went to a Thai restaurant and that had monkey waiters serving them. It was again just hysterical, just their reaction to this, and it was just so funny. And they never really center on one topic. Like I mentioned Kevin Smith's one. He has specific shows that he does. The Hamish and Andy channel, they're not episodes in the sense of Kevin Smith would have, but they're just 5 minutes, sometimes longer videos of sketches they've done, or clips from the Gap Year TV show they do. But it's just literally whenever I watch videos on their channel, I never come away thinking, oh, that was crap. I'm always laughing, and it's just very funny. So you really should check them out. It's called Hamish and Andy, and they're very good. So give them a look. This next channel that I'm going to talk about is basically one run by the Queen of the Geeks. Some have referred to her. They've referred to her online as that, and it's actress, writer, director, because she directs some of these things, and her name is Felicia Day, and the channel is called Geek and Sundry. Now, what it basically is if you're a geek and you're looking for good geek content, Geek and Sundry is the channel to go to. I mean, the title says it all. Geek is in the title, and it's just packed full of shows, just all about various fucking geeky things. Like they talk about like video games, and they talk about conventions and all sorts, and anything and everything geek related they talk about. So it's the perfect channel if you're a geek and you're looking for good content. It's definitely one to check out. I mean, they have varying shows like The Guild, which was a show Felicia wrote, produced, and starred in. It was a kind of a web series. Each episode was maybe like between 5 and 10 minutes long, and it was just about a group of gamers who meet in real life, and all the things that they get up to. Hysterical. Never thought I could find a show that would only be about maybe 10 minutes long or 5 minutes long. That's so funny. But it was hysterical, and it's on Geek and Sundry, so you can check out that series. And there's other shows as well. They do, like Felicia does one called The Flog, where she basically talks about varying websites, games, and each episode she tries her hand at a skill. And other varying things she's tried her hand at are like milking a goat, putting together an IKEA wardrobe, and she does varying cooking things as well with her friend and guild co-star Robin Thornton. And the other shows are run by her basic friends. Her biggest circle of geeky friends. She's kind of like Kevin Smith in that respect. She knows a lot of people. People like Will Wheaton. He has a show on this channel, and it's just a very very good channel full of good kind of sci-fi content. In terms of basically geeky. I keep saying that word, but that's fucking what it is. If you're a geek like myself, and and you wanna watch something made by geeks for geeks, Geek and Sundry is definitely the channel you should look at. So check that out, because again, there's too much stuff to name. I'd be here fucking forever. The videos I make are long enough already. But just give it a look. Again, Geek and Sundry, you'll love it, trust me. And I've saved the best one for last. Now, the ones I've already mentioned they're famous people, like Kevin Smith, Felicia Day, and Hamish and Andy. Now they're famous, people know them all over the world. But I thought I'd point out this vlog because the most important thing about this one I'm about to tell you about is it inspired me. Like I'd always like, when I thought, oh, I'd like to do something online, I first started with doing a blog. But as much as I like writing stuff and typing shit, I just go, fuck, that would just take too long. Because you gotta type it out, you gotta read it, you gotta check your facts, you got all this. And I do a certain element of that with the videos, but the videos is much quicker, and I just enjoy it more. Because again, I like to talk a lot, so like it's good to I use this medium. And the woman, that girl who inspired me, was this person, and the channel is called Ellie Jaden, and it's run by my by a friend of mine. Her name is Shona Connell, and I first met Shona at conventions, and then I found her on Twitter, followed her there, and then I found her on Facebook, and I sent friend request, gratefully accepted, and then I found out she does videos as well. So I subscribed to her YouTube channel. I started looking at the videos, and they're very good. Now, I'll be honest with you, the content of them at first, I thought, this is very kind of, no offense, girly. I was like, like she talks about fashion, she talks about makeup, like, how to do your hair right, what's good makeup, and clothes and stuff like that. Now, by and large, that is all considered women's things. Guys shouldn't be interested in fashion and makeup. And I looked at the her channel at first and thought, well, I don't know. I'll give it a look. I don't know if it'll interest me because again, it was all about what would normally be considered women's things. But I'd met Sean already. I met her at the convention. She's a and she's a fine girl, fine woman. And I thought, look, I'll give it a go. I'll have a look at it, and they're just excellent videos. Again, now the ones about makeup and about fashion wouldn't necessarily be of any use to me because again, I don't wear those things. I wear what I want, but again, I dress because I'm a guy. I'm not going to wear girls' things. But no, they're interesting to watch because you get a bit of insight into things because like sometimes we as men say, like, what the hell is it with all this makeup? Well, you can understand makeup actually. Scratch that. What the hell is it with all the clothes and the fashion? What's the obsession with shoes? What's all this obsession with all this girl stuff? Because we don't get it. Because I don't get it because I'm a guy. Guys at large don't understand it. But when I watch her videos, specifically the ones about, she does makeup tutorials. I mean, what's great about the makeup tutorials is she's showing that this is how you do it right. Because I see people with makeup on and it looks too thick and it looks fucking awful. But this is a woman who's saying, look, this is how you do it proper. This is the proper stuff to use, and that's great advice for any fucking woman. So all the women, whatever amount of women watch my videos, go to Ellie Jaden on YouTube. You find those videos. They're fucking great. Now she does videos at the same time that do appeal. Like she talks like she like myself is a geek. I'm not outing her. That won't be offensive to her, I hope. But that's what she is, and it's what I am. Geeks. And she talks about geeky things, like she's talked about cosplay, costumes, dressing up in costumes for conventions or just general parties or whatever. And she does videos about quite serious topics as well. Because as much as I love the videos that she makes, but she does very good ones as well. Like she did one recently about bullying, which was very kind of very touching, very emotional, but it was a good video. I was like, fuck, play. And talks about self-confidence, and basically she talks about anything and everything that is of interest to her. And some of it is of interest to me. Some of it is very informative, because again, with the whole makeup, clothes, and fashion thing, it's like I understand now why fucking women are all, some women are all obsessive about that stuff. Because again, we as guys don't get it most of the time. But it's very good, very informative, and again, I said at the start of this that she inspired me. Because I'd always thought about what I would do online, what I do blogs, what would I do. I saw her videos and I thought, fuck, that's good. I'll give that a go. And it's not that, oh, she made it look easy. it isn't. Like, I'll go through this and I'll probably record a lot of bits and cut a lot of it. So the notion that I looked at Shona doing, no, that looks simple, I'll give that a go. It wasn't that at all. It was just the fact that here was a woman who was just like, hi, how you doing? I'm going to talk about this. You like it? Good. You don't? No bother to me. But a lot of people do like her videos. Very envious she gets more fucking views than me. But I'm not really envious because they're great. They're great videos and deserve all the views that they're getting. But I left that one till last because that's it's one of my top favorite videos that I watch on YouTube. And also, again, I wouldn't be recording this video you're watching now if it weren't for her. So thank you very much for the inspiration, Shauna, and to all the people watching. Again, search for Ellie Jaden on YouTube, ELLIEJAYDEN, and you'll find the videos. The topics are varying and they're very good, and you'll learn something. So give it a look. Right, well, that just about covers the topic for this week. Hope you enjoyed the video. And again, if you want to leave any comments, let me know what you think. If you want to recommend any YouTube channels for me to watch, tell me about some of your favorites. Let me know about them. And the 4 channels that I've spoken about, the links to them will be posted in the description box below this video. So check them out because they're pretty good. I love them, and I think you'll love them too. So yeah. So take care, and I'll see you again next week. Bye bye.